Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Darius from artistshortcut.com, and today I want to talk to you about when to release a mixtape. So a mixtape is a pretty big part of your career, right? So you put in all this hard work, you've been hustling, and now you kind of get to put together that project and give it off to the world. But the thing about your mixtape is that sometimes you don't need a mixtape. A lot of artists release mixtapes prematurely, so they release them when they don't really need to release them. It's too much work to release a mixtape and not get any good results from it. So that's what I kind of want to talk to you about today. I want to help you get through when to release a mixtape. And I think that personally, if you want to release a mixtape, you need to already have a following. The purpose of a mixtape is not to build a following. That's not what you're doing with your mixtape. Your mixtape should be to capitalize off of that following and to grow it, but it should not be to build it. So if you don't have a following already, then you need to go out and release more singles. You need to go out and network more. You need to go out and build a fan base, build some type of fan base. Because if you don't have a following, you should not be releasing a mixtape. It's just too much work to try to get your initial following off of a mixtape. Another tip is that you should not release a mixtape unless you have your distribution strategy already down. And what I mean by that is just your marketing. So you don't want to release a mixtape and then you get no plays, like nobody's checking for it. It doesn't matter if you even have a fan base or you have a following. If you don't promote your mixtape, then only the people in that following is going to hear it. So you want to make sure you have a distribution strategy already in place. And I think the easiest way to get that distribution strategy in place is from releasing singles. So by releasing songs and individual tracks, you can kind of practice and do your trial and error to get a good distribution strategy. Another tip for finding out when to release a mixtape is if you have a plan or not. So before you release a mixtape, you need to know what you're going to do if your mixtape blows up, and you need to know what you're going to do if your mixtape does not blow up. You need to figure out what is it that you can do. What is your follow-up single? What is your follow-up video? What outlets are you going to reach and continue to have that mixtape run? Where are you going to do shows at? Like, you need to have these things in place before you create your mixtape, in my opinion. Because if you don't have them in place, then you're going to be at the mercy of the listener. So you're going to have to move at their pace because they're going to want you to do shows. When your buzz is high, they're going to want you to do shows, and you're going to have to do shows. And if it's up to you whether or not you have that infrastructure in place to be able to manage that and not go crazy. So yes, you want to have a plan on if it blows up. That way this is what I'm gonna do. This is the results I should get from this, and this is what we're gonna do. Everybody on my team, if you have a team, if you don't have a team, this is what you're gonna instruct the people to do when you do have a team. And if it doesn't blow up, you're gonna want to make sure you have the proper tracking tools in place to figure out why it didn't blow up. So was it the marketing? Was it the actual product? Was it just the timing? Did you release your mixtape at the wrong time when there was too much other stuff going on? And just a few other things. And it's like, you need to make sure you have that in place, because if you don't, you're just going to be scrambling around trying to figure out what to do. So if you ask me, when should you release a mixtape? Number one, when you have a following. You want to make sure you have a following. Don't try to build a following off a mixtape. You can grow a following off a mixtape, but don't try to build it. 2, make sure you have a distribution strategy already in place. So you want to know how you're going to market it, who are you going to reach, where are you going to go to promote it. You want to have all these things in order before, because you do not want to be left trying to make it work. You want to already have your plan together, your strategy together. That way you can just go out and do it. And 3, you want to make sure you know what you're going to do if it blows up and if it doesn't blow up. If it does blow up, good, perfect, job completed. Now it's your time to manage all of this newfound buzz. If it doesn't blow up, you want to make sure you have the reporting tools in place and the tracking tools in place. That way you can figure out, was it the marketing? Was it the actual product? Was it the timing? Was it a combination? Like, what was it? Was the story bad? Was the overall, just feel of it? Was the instruments bad? Was it the production? Was it the content? Like, whatever. You want to make sure that you have a plan in place. That way you can know how to manage it if it goes well, and know how to track it if it goes wrong. And that's my opinion on when you should release a mixtape. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. So right below here, just leave a comment. Please thumbs up the video and subscribe, because I mean, if you subscribe, you get notified as soon as I release the video, and then that way you're ahead of everyone else who takes their sweet old time that don't want to be a successful rapper, and you'll be ahead of those people as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, and talk to you next time.